The funny thing about comparing the Action 6 and the Ace Pro 2 is that on paper these two cameras look like they're trying to do the same thing, but once you actually start shooting with them, you instantly realize they're playing completely different games. One is built to make your life easier, and the other is built to give you the absolute maximum detail and flexibility, even if that makes things a bit heavier, a bit more demanding, and honestly, a bit more work. And that's the theme throughout this entire comparison. There isn't really a bad choice here. Both cameras are strong, both cameras are capable, but depending on how you travel, how you record, how much you edit, and how patient you are with your workflow, one of these cameras will make you smile way more than the other. So let's start with something that most people underestimate: how these cameras actually look when you drop the footage onto your timeline. Not the specs, not the resolution, the feel. The Action 6 has this very calm, balanced, almost cinematic look that doesn't try to impress you with over-sharpening. Skin tones stay natural, highlights don't explode, shadows stay clean, and the overall vibe feels like something you could upload directly with zero editing. It's predictable, it's stable, it feels like DJI tried really hard to give creators something that looks polished even in difficult lighting. The Ace Pro 2 walks into the room with the exact opposite energy. It's like, all right, let me show you everything your eye didn't even notice. Micro details everywhere, the texture on concrete, tiny leaves in the background, reflections in glass. It's incredibly sharp, and in the right hands, that sharpness looks beautiful. But it also means you're basically expected to edit the footage. It doesn't have that soft, warm, cinematic personality. It has a very clinical, hyper-detailed style that begs for color grading. And this difference becomes massive the moment you start shooting in low light. The Ace Pro 2's pure video mode does a solid job of brightening scenes and reducing noise, but you can clearly see the smoothing when you bring the footage close to your face. Like, texture starts to melt a little, darker hair blends together, and there's a slight artificial feel. Not bad, just noticeable. The Action 6, with its f2.0 to f4.0 variable aperture and new 1.1.1 inch sensor, handles low light with more confidence. Noise looks finer, colors stay intact, shadows keep real detail instead of turning into wax. And the variable aperture is one of those features that sounds like a gimmick until you actually use it. Shooting at f2.0 during evening scenes gives you brightness without destroying the mood. Switching to f4.0 in daylight controls your highlights, deepens your skies, and even gives you that subtle starburst when light hits the lens. You genuinely feel like you have a bit of creative control, which no other action camera really offers right now. With the Ace Pro 2, you're locked at f2.6. One look, no options. Then there's the resolution battle. You're right, the Ace Pro 2's 8K at 30 FPS versus the Action 6's 4K at up to 120 FPS. And this is where a lot of creators get fooled by numbers. Yes, 8K is impressive. If you shoot mostly static wide shots, mountain ranges, cities, architecture, you will see that insane clarity. But the moment you start moving, the advantage drops quickly. Stabilization crops in. Motion blur hides detail. And a lot of that beautiful 8K sharpness disappears in real-world use. But here's what does survive real-world use: 4K slow motion, and the Action 6 absolutely nails it. 4K 120 FPS looks clean, crisp, and actually useful in editing. It adds emotion, drama, and depth to your shots without asking your computer to melt. If you film sports, pets, biking, running, waves, water splashes, slow motion matters far more than 8K for most creators. And let's talk about the part nobody wants to admit. Ace Pro 2's 8K files are huge, heavy, brutal. If your laptop is not running a strong GPU and a fast SSD, your editing timeline will start crying. And it's not a joke. These files are not beginner friendly, so if you're a daily vlogger or traveler editing on the go, this matters a lot. Now, stabilization. Both cameras are incredibly stable, but they have different personalities. The Insta360's flow state gives you that classic smooth, floaty aesthetic, almost like the camera is floating through the air. Great for vlogs and walking shots, but the Action 6 with DJI's Super Steady 3.0 feels tighter and more true to your movement. If you're doing faster movements, FPV style runs, or quick turns, the DJI look feels more controlled. Neither is better, they're just different styles. You'll see it clearly when the samples roll in throughout the video. Accessories are another area where DJI took a big leap this year. The magnetic macro lens and the 182-degree ultra-wide attachment are genuinely creative tools. The macro lens gives you extremely close-up shots that look like they came from a dedicated macro camera, not an action cam. It changes what these cameras can do in ways that specs can't describe. Insta360 has solid ND filters and the usual accessories, but not this level of creative optics. Battery life is surprisingly close between the two. The Action 6 gets around 90 minutes at 1080p, about 60 minutes at 4K 30, and a little less at higher frame rates. The Ace Pro 2 gives you roughly 100 minutes at 4K 30 and around 70 to 80 minutes at higher settings. Both are respectable. But then, charging speed enters the conversation. The Action 6 charges ridiculously fast, 0 to around 80% in roughly 22 minutes. That means you can literally stop for a drink, come back, and your camera is ready for another full session. That convenience adds up massively during travel or outdoor shoots. The Ace Pro 2 charges at a normal rate, nothing special, and finally, workflow. This is the big one that most people underestimate. The Action 6 footage is super easy to work with. It plays smoothly, edits smoothly, exports smoothly. The Ace Pro 2 footage gives you incredible detail, but it demands hardware. Heavy hardware, and if you don't have it, you'll feel the editing lag immediately. So after all of this, the look, the resolution, the low light behavior, the processing, the accessories, the battery life, the workflow, this is the real honest conclusion. If you want the more forgiving, practical, cinematic looking camera for daily life, travel, and fast editing, the Action 6 is the better experience. If you want maximum resolution, maximum flexibility, and you enjoy taking time crafting your final look in post, the Ace Pro 2 gives you more room to grow. The Action 6 is the camera that wants you to just start recording. The Ace Pro 2 is the camera that wants you to edit with intention. Both are excellent, but they fit different personalities, and if you made it all the way to the end, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.